Dogecoin is going to explode. Take a look at some of these articles that have come out in the last few days. Now first, before we get into that, I'll of course give a shout out to the Make Dogecoin Moon Again hat, which I happen to think is a beautiful, beautiful meme there. Awesome stuff, as we are seeing this. Dogecoin price could book 55% gain if US dollar is any guide. That's just one of them. There's more. Dogecoin soars by 12%. Can Elon make Dogecoin the future? Bitcoin by 2030. That certainly sounds like a pretty dang good idea. This one, Cardano versus Dogecoin. Which one will reach $1 first in 2023? As we have seen Dogecoin a surprisingly sneakily good week this week. You probably haven't noticed it too much because there's been so much crazy action with Dogecoin, but it's actually putting up some pretty good numbers, the prices, on the weekly chart, as Bitcoin's up 3%, Ethereum's up 6%, not bad, but Dogecoin up a nice 13.69%, approximately 14% gain for Dogecoin in the last week, which has gone largely unnoticed, primarily because it was a good bit higher than that at the top of this most recent spike, but still, nonetheless, that's nice to see. That's positive momentum, and we're continuing to see more and more evidence that's building on top of each other that Dogecoin is getting ready to explode. There's no doubt that the excitement, the energy is going to lead to big things for Dogecoin. You can see I put on the thumbnail $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and the reason why I went all the way up to $5 is because that is the upside for Dogecoin on this next major run. In our lifetimes, it could go significantly above $5, right? But just for specifically this next run, the highest upside that I can see potentially happening is around $5. And a lot of people saying, Matt, come on, do you really think $5 can happen? The answer is yes, I really do. And not only that, but I think it could happen significantly faster than people think in terms of the time scale on it. SBF will be beginning on the streets, and keep in mind, this is coming from someone who, when Dogecoin was at half a penny, was laughed at all the time for saying this thing was going to go crazy. Coming from someone who's predicted the price of Bitcoin to where it would fall at the top of the bull market. So I've been pretty good with my predictions, been pretty accurate. If you want to subscribe with the notifications on to get those predictions and to be involved, stay updated on the crypto market, you're certainly welcome to do that. As we also have had even more craziness. I like to update this every single live stream because it's just staggering numbers. We now are up to 215 million tweet impressions on @MattWallace888, 374,000 mentions, and we're up 79,000 followers. Really, in the last, all of this is pretty much all in the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So, I mean, some pretty crazy stuff there as we've continued to have more tweets go viral. I just did one today, and basically my goal with my Twitter account is to simply put the truth above the lies, not only in regards to Dogecoin, but also in regards to Elon Musk, because he's truly actually doing good stuff for the world, and truly actually is me saying the same word twice to put emphasis on it, but I don't care. I still did it anyway. Deal with it. That's right, grammar teacher. If my 5th grade grammar teacher ever watched this, she would be pissed. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. Don't ever let Miss Ngozi watch this episode or any of my episodes, because I definitely don't. I don't think I learned anything in her class. I'm sorry, Miss Ngozi. I tried. I did my best. But so this is my most recent tweet. I tweeted out, Elon Musk could be chilling in a $100 million mansion right now, getting massaged by 100 women. That part was mostly a joke, but I mean, technically it is true. As a team of private chefs prepares him a 5-star meal. He really could do that, right? I mean, easily. He can afford to do that every day for years. I mean, he has an insane net worth, right? He can do all this stuff, but instead, he's actually sleeping at Twitter HQ right now, and he's working his butt off to improve the world. I mean, how much more can you ask of a guy to do that and sacrifice what he could be getting? Now, you could argue maybe Elon doesn't want that. Maybe he actually enjoys work. And sure, I hope that's the case. But even still, it's still admirable that he's doing that, because there's still lots of other things that he probably enjoys, even playing video games or anything above the sun, hanging out with his family, whatever he wants to do. He could be doing any of that stuff instead of working hard, and he chooses to do this. So there's a very strong reason why I'm such a big fan of Elon Musk. It's not just random, and I've been a fan of him for years and years, and I just really enjoy putting my thoughts out there to the world and explaining why I think it's pretty ridiculous to be hating on the guy. You don't have to like him, but hating on him, now that's taking things a step too far, especially if you're a Dogecoin fan. Then you definitely can't even, you have to like him if you're a Dogecoin fan. You don't have to like him if you're just a normal individual, but if you're a Dogecoin fan, how can you not? I mean, come on. Elon Musk right now, simply with the Twitter acceptance, will likely send Dogecoin into another spiral of upwardness. to quote a term that I've never used before, but I just made up, and I think it sounds pretty good. Spiral of upwardness. What a new term. That's amazing. I happen to like that a lot. Also, I'll give an update as well on Dogecoin. Right now, they have continued to build out some cool stuff on it. Staking now live on Dogecoin. The more that we're seeing Dogecoin and Dogecoin integrated, the more use case that Dogecoin has, the more eyes that are on Dogecoin, the more people that are taking Dogecoin seriously as not only a meme coin, but as an actual use case heavy smart contract type of coin, not only a currency, that as well. So that's where it starts to become valuable, not just for Dogecoin, but also for people investing in Dogecoin tokens, because there's a lot of tokens on the Doge chain now. Many of them will likely spike in the next bull run, massively so. It could be similar to what we've seen with Ethereum. So I'm going to definitely continue to give you guys updates on Dogecoin as we watch what happens there. And the other coin I want to give an update on, well, there's actually a couple more that I think are important to talk about. So this is one that I think has a lot of potential right now, Cryptopolis. They are building out more with their game. I did a video on the game recently. If you played it, hopefully you had fun with that. It's only going to get more fun is the game, and so we'll continue watching that. And then, of course, it's time to talk about SBF. My goodness, he's just spitting out all of his stats like he don't care no more. We just saw a text leaked, you could say, from SBF, where he was telling someone that he was basically faking his personality the entire time. He was pretending to be this good guy, virtue signaling, you could call it, in order to try to get favor amongst people, which just honestly made me lose the little bit of respect that I ever had for him at all. And I didn't have very much for him at any point in time, and especially not right now after what's just happened. But even that tiny slim, that little smidgen, even that's gone now, because I have to say that's pretty ridiculous that you would be taking advantage of people's good nature to trust and using it in a way where you're trying to pretend like you're some massive philanthropist and you're this really humble good guy, when in reality you're throwing parties with Caroline and other people at SBF with lots of illegal stuff potentially happening there, allegedly. That's what we're hearing from people. When you're using customer funds in the way you're using them, when you're trying to build up your net worth so you can donate to politicians you like, rather than using that money to actually advance the crypto space, when you're trying to put regulations in place that hurt crypto, when you're doing all that stuff and it gets all exposed at one time, it's kind of hard to look back and say any of the stuff that he said or did was in any way genuine, and he is in fact confirming that with this. You can see, yeah, he in response to, you're really good at talking about your ethics. For someone who kind of saw it as a game with winners and losers, he said, yeah, I had to be. It's what reputations are made of to some extent. I feel bad for those who get effed by it. By this dumb game we woke Westerners play, where we say all the right silhouettes so that everyone likes us. Admitting that the entire time it has been an act. It's been a facade. That video, the other video, whichever video you've seen of SBF looking like a good dude, none of it was real. And so that's just, I mean, I guess we probably should have seen it coming. Do you really think that that guy's working this hard to increase his net worth and he's not actually using it to his own advantage in any way? Of course not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to build up your net worth and use it for fun stuff, you're allowed to do that. But don't pretend like you're some philanthropist who's trying to help the world and you're super humble when you're not. And you're just using that to try to take advantage of people's good nature to support your projects and stuff like that. And certainly it worked, because even still, there's some projects and some people out there that are somehow giving Sam this really puffball treatment, especially the New York Times, one of the pieces they just released on him, extremely light ball article that didn't even really seem to hit on any of the bad stuff he did. It more just simply made him look like the victim. Pretty bad that they would do that. A lot of people calling it out though, which is definitely good to see. And so we'll continue to do that. I just hope, for goodness sakes, that we do not see another Sam Bankman-Fried type situation happen. If you right now own a crypto exchange, do not, under any circumstances, take unnecessary bets. Use the funds of the customers as funds of the customers. Keep them safe. Keep them in the coins that the customers are investing in. Buy more when customers buy more. If you need to sell when customers sell, that's part of the market. But do not risk it for the biscuit, because oftentimes that biscuit will be eaten by a giant alligator in a swamp that is full of extremely weird creatures called politicians, and those politicians just simply want to gobble up all of the money around them and try to increase their own power by giving people leniency who give them money. A circle of vindictiveness and terribleness that should never have been allowed to be put forth in a country as great as the United States, and hopefully, moving forward, will not be allowed. If you want to press like, yes, you're certainly welcome to do that. Yeah, some people still commenting about the last video about politics, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to, like I said, I'm not someone who loves talking about politics that much, especially on this show. I prefer to talk about cryptocurrency, but on that particular episode, I felt it important to talk about the current events, and if there's ever any more big, important political events, of course we'll cover them. We're not going to shy away from that. We'll talk about the important stuff. We'll talk about the controversial stuff. I'll make you mad sometimes. I'll make you happy sometimes with my opinions. But nonetheless, I'm telling you what I think, and I think that's the way it should be. And you can decide if you think I'm right or if you think I'm an idiot. Which, I mean, I'll be honest. Some of my opinions are probably pretty dumb. Probably pretty dumb. I mean, hopefully not, though. When it comes to cryptocurrency, I would have to say, typically speaking, we've been pretty strong with our predictions. We've been pretty accurate. But when it comes to politics, that area, I wouldn't be as advanced because I don't spend as much time researching it as I do with cryptocurrency. That said, I still do like politics. Like, I still do look at the stuff. I still do figure out what's happening. And who knows, maybe I'll get more into it in the future because it still is interesting. It's fascinating. It's like one of the best TV shows of all time, but in real life, politics is. Also, yes, I'm going to be on a Spaces tonight at 8:30 p.m. my time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, which I'm going to be talking with Chris of Egonauts. Once again, he has helped me massively with a project that was very important to me. And so as a result, I'm, of course, giving him the platform to talk about his project, and I'm helping him to let people know about kind of what it entails. And if you want to buy it, if you want to participate in it, you're certainly welcome to do that. But I encourage you to listen to what he has to say. Don't just randomly ape into anything. Make sure you actually like what he has to say. Make sure you trust him and you want to work with him. And I do also want to point out something. So on last night's show, he wanted me to point out, so they technically don't have full approval and everything yet. They just have a lot of approval. And so there's still some things that still need to be done first before the building can be made. So that's something to point out. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.